The singer Lizzo is getting sued by her dancers. 3 of her dancers, Noelle Rodriguez, Arianna Davis, and Crystal Williams, are suing not only Lizzo, but their dance captain Charlene Quigley, as well as the company Big Girl Big Touring Inc. They filed the lawsuit on August 1st, 2023, and let's get into the complaints. The reason they are suing are hostile work environment, sexual harassment, religious harassment, racial harassment, failure to remedy or prevent these conditions, intentional interference with prospective economic advantage, assault, false imprisonment, and disability discrimination. This is a lot. These are some hefty allegations. Now let's get into the details. Racial harassment. This is due to most of the Big Girl Big Tour management team being white, and a lot of times they'd say the black dancers were lazy, had bad attitudes, and behaved unprofessionally. They never did it to the non-black dancers. Hostile work environment. The dancers had an 8-hour rehearsal, but Lizzo allegedly came in to address the unprofessional rumors. She told all the dancers to re-audition because she was unhappy with them and says everyone will be fired if they didn't do well. It ended up being like a 12-hour straight thing, and Arianna Davis was scared to go to the bathroom and ended up peeing on herself in front of everyone. They gave her a see-through garment with nothing underneath to finish the performance. The performance happened to take place where male crew members were who normally sexualized the dancers. Also, Lizzo allegedly falsely accused her dancers of drinking before performances. Crystal Williams kept telling her that wasn't true, and she eventually got publicly fired. They said it was a budget cut, though she was the only one fired. The sexual harassment is from Lizzo inviting dancers more than once to nude performances and cabarets. Sometimes the dancers didn't even know that nudity would be involved while going on such outings. Lizzo allegedly forced the dancers to touch nude strippers' bodies at the club. She encouraged them to catch sex toys launched from performers' private parts and eating bananas protruding from the performers' coochie. There is actually a video of Lizzo saying how she wanted to see the banana show. Check it out.
But I'm trying to go to the show where you eat the banana out the Which one is that?
This is the banana bar.
Well, that's the banana bar?
Yeah, you
and
wear
they have
the
the banana
bar.
in the coochie?
And ping pong balls.
And you have to go.
Yes. And
That's what I want to do.
Then you have to eat it.
I need my potassium, if you know what I'm saying.
The dancers said they went because they feared that they'd lose their jobs if they didn't go, and also the dancers who participated seemingly got favoritism from Lizzo. Listen, if that was me, I don't care. Fire me if you want to, but I'm not going to do anything I don't want to do. The dance captain, Charlene Quigley, is said to be very religious and would try to force her religious beliefs on the dancers. If you take a look at her Instagram page, you can see she does speak of God a lot. The lawsuit stated, Miss Quigley discovered that Miss Davis was a virgin, and Miss Davis's virginity became a topic of extreme importance to Miss Quigley. In the months to follow, Miss Quigley would routinely bring up Miss Davis's virginity in conversations with Miss Davis. Miss Quigley even mentioned Miss Davis's virginity in interviews she participated in and later posted to social media, broadcasting an intensely personal detail about Miss Davis to the world. That's so crazy to me. It went on to say, though Charlene acted holier than thou, even chastising dancers about sex before marriage, she would do oral on bananas in front of the dancers and even had a sexual fantasy of having 10 Ds in her face at once. I mean, that would seem as if she needs psychiatric evaluation if all that is really true. Like, she must have trauma from growing up Christian or something. She would also force Rodriguez to pray even when she always refuses and would chastise her for not being a believer. It's giving loony. Dancers didn't have the advantage of taking on other jobs while working for Lizzo. Rodriguez wanted to do a one-day gig while she wasn't actively performing with Lizzo, and asked the tour manager about it, in which she replied, "Do you want the job or not?" Even when the tour took a break, they didn't want the dancers to take on other gigs, and during those times they didn't receive any pay. Apparently, this only applied to the dancers because musicians and other members of the tour got paid on breaks in exchange for not taking other jobs. The dancers submitted a request to get 50% of their tour rate to ensure payment while they weren't working. The accountant granted them 25% but also told them that they displayed inappropriate behavior on tour, which could have led to termination, but she didn't specify what they did that was so disrespectful and unacceptable. Eventually, they got the 50%, but the dancers claimed management started to lash out at them afterwards. Arianna Davis had claimed she was asked by Lizzo and a choreographer, Tanisha Scott, what was wrong with her and why she's less bubbly and committed to her role. Davis claims Lizzo called out her weight gain at South by Southwest Music Festival, and that in this moment, them questioning her was indirectly blaming her weight gain for the way she was acting. She told them she had personal issues dealing with, but it won't affect her work, and that they pressed her until she told them she has anxiety and depression and is diagnosed with a binge eating disorder. The whole pattern with this particular dancer, Arianna, is she always gives in to doing whatever and then says the reason is because she feared that she'd lose her job. In my opinion, she's not a strong person, and I feel like it's better to leave than endure that, because now that they've sued, whether they win or lose, other artists are probably going to be scared to hire them now, and that's more lifelong without a dancing career than if she had just left Lizzo's camp if things were really that bad. Arianna Davis also suffers an eye condition that makes her disoriented in stressful situations. She claims both Lizzo and BGBT are aware of the condition, so a meeting was called and she recorded it so she could listen at a later time. At a later date, the security allegedly confiscated all dancers' phones, and Lizzo was furious and using expletives because she demanded to know who recorded the meeting. Davis admitted she was the one, and Lizzo and the dance captain, Charlene, took turns talking down on her, and Lizzo ended up firing her on the spot. Noelle Rodriguez stood up for Davis and had a word with Lizzo, saying she didn't appreciate how the situation was handled and she felt disrespected and would resign. She said Charlene then screamed at both her and Davis, and Lizzo even, quote, approached Miss Rodriguez, cracking her knuckles, balling her fists, and seemingly wanted to hit Rodriguez if other dancers didn't intervene. Lizzo allegedly exclaimed, "You're so effing lucky," and that Lizzo even gave her the finger and yelled, "Bye, B." Because of that situation, security allegedly forced Davis to remain in a room so they could search her phone, even though she already told them she deleted the video. She claimed she was not allowed to leave until they searched the phone thoroughly, and she was scared and afterwards met up with Rodriguez, where they were afraid someone from Lizzo's team would come to confront them again. Baby, this whole thing is both disgusting and disturbing. Some people believe the dancers, some think they're lying because they got fired and want revenge. All these allegations are so wild to me. It seems so surreal, like Lizzo was representing spreading love and joy. Could she really be a big bully in real life? Other than these three dancers, other people have come out having negative things to say about Lizzo. Example, a woman who tried out for the show Watch Out for the Big Girls claims Lizzo stole her music video idea. Also, Lizzo's former documentary director, Sophia Nali Allison, said, "In 2019, I traveled a bit with Lizzo to be the director of her documentary. I walked away after about 2 weeks. I was treated with such disrespect by her. I witnessed how arrogant, self-centered, and unkind she is. If you're wondering why she's speaking out now, well, she says she wants to validate Black women's experiences." She also added, My spirit said to run as fast as I can, and I'm so grateful I trusted my gut. I felt gaslit and was deeply hurt, but I've healed. Reading these reports made me realize how dangerous of a situation it was. This kind of abuse of power happens far too often. Much love and support to the dancers. But not everyone is against Lizzo. Her current dancers made a statement. They said, "We have had the time of our lives on the special tour. We have been so honored to share the stage with such amazing talent. This tour experience has been beyond just special. Thank you to Lizzo for shattering limitations and kicking in the door for the big girl and big boy dancers to do what we love. You have created a platform where we have been able to parallel our passion with a purpose." They also said they're so grateful that the standards and existence of beauty in this team goes beyond the surface. So those dancers are either trying to stay employed, or maybe they truly have had a great experience working with Lizzo. Multiple people can experience different things while being in the same environment. Lizzo also addressed this whole thing via Instagram. She said, "These last few days have been gut-wrenchingly difficult and overwhelmingly disappointing. My work ethic, morals, and respectfulness have been questioned. My character has been criticized. Usually I choose not to respond to false allegations, but these are as unbelievable as they sound and too outrageous to not be addressed. These sensationalized stories are coming from former employees who have already publicly admitted that they were told their behavior on tour was inappropriate and unprofessional." She says she's passionate about what she does. She takes music and performances seriously, and it's never her intention to make anyone feel uncomfortable. She also said she's not trying to be a victim, however, she's also not a villain, and she's very open with expressing her sexuality and will never body shame anyone because she's been there herself. And finally, she said, she's hurt and will not allow her good work to be overshadowed by the situation. Lizzo's attorney has represented Chris Brown, Johnny Depp, R. Kelly, Charlie Sheen, etc. The dancer's attorney actually responded to Lizzo and said, "Lizzo weight shames and demeans her dancers in ways that aren't only illegal but absolutely demoralizing, and it goes against the nature of everything Lizzo stands for publicly." He also said her statement has caused his clients more emotional distress and how at least 6 more people have come forward since the lawsuit was filed. So it's not looking good for Lizzo at all. Made in America Fest has been cancelled and people think it's due to Lizzo being one of the headliners. She was also being considered to do the Super Bowl halftime, but that's also a wrap. Lizzo surprisingly made a post to Instagram seemingly living her best life. Of course, she had the comments off. Do you think Lizzo is truly unbothered by this situation, or is it just a front? Let me know what you think about this whole messy situation in the comments below. Have a great day.